guitars are just props for the jokes. It's a broken-hearted lover who's to blame. Crawled out from underneath the train, and I stepped out onto the avenue. I couldn't walk down Broadway without you. And I stopped at the corner we once knew. I stepped out onto the avenue. Street light, black out the night. Street light, black out the night. And I slammed the swinging door with a back fence. It was the only thing that made an ounce of sense. And I felt for my wallet in my pants. Sir, that'll be $3.50. And I stumbled outside into the street. I dropped a quarter at some hobo's feet. And I grabbed a cab, there's a friend I've got to meet. And I wound up back on Bleecker Street. Street light, black out the night. Street light, black out the night. Now where your heart beats, only call it home. Where your heart speaks on its own. 'Cause I never had the time to telephone. You know I left you behind in another time zone. And I opened up the door to catch some breeze. Well, I opened up flood of memories. Well, that stroke of luck, she was nothing more than a little tease. And I opened up the door to catch a breeze. Street light, black out the night. Street light, black out the night. Black out the night. Black out the night. And we're off. Hey, listen, we gotta start somewhere. So
Here we go.
we'll save the stories for the people. But actually, we should tell them to each other, because that's the important. I wrote that song because I used to walk around New York City in the middle of the night when nobody else was around. Because it never gets dark in New York. The street light always black out the night. Between about 4 and 6 a.m., there's nobody else around except the people like cleaning the sidewalks and the garbage trucks. But just enough people like to kind of feel safe, you know. And I'd wander and take like these 8-10 mile walks home from Manhattan to Astoria, Queens. walking over the 59th Street Bridge. It's one of the coolest things I've ever had experience. Lucky enough to do. So that's the story on that one. Next song.
Jersey Kebab guys.
Sing us one?
Sure, if you know Jamie and Thomas well, and I know a lot of you do.
Everybody here knows Jamie.
Well, this is kind of like everybody I know, but they happen to all be on stage.
You will see him at night wandering around, either falling into a ditch. I mean, that only happened once. But
yeah, see, I should have told that story on the right over. That's where I fell in the ditch and I lost my phone. That's when I realized that find your phone thing actually works.
Yeah.
Went back the next morning.
yeah, thank God for the Find My iPhone.
Technology.
My daughter lost her. No, somebody stole my daughter's softball coach's cell phone from here one night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she had Find My Phone, and it was like a hit we did. We all got in a car and we went to the guy's house, and he had like a bar in his house.
Whoa.
And a family. He had all this neon like in his living room and a bar like in the front door.
Weird.
And then he pretended like he just found it and gave it back to us. So finding your phone does work.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, some people, if you're a thief and you're smart, like I think you can turn it off somehow.
Yeah, that leaves most of the people out of the equation.
How you doing?
Yeah, how's it going?
Come on.
I'm here listening to you guys.
Nice.
Better.
Nice. Thanks for coming out, man.
And I'm not in New Jersey at 15 degrees, so I'm good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, I hear you.
Or Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Let's see
a
if
little
it's minus
chillier.
15.
Yeah, it's a little
A
chilly.
little chillier.
Yeah, that's where I flew from.
Did you?
Yeah, I flew down from Wisconsin to hang out with Jamie's birthday is kind of today and tomorrow. It's kind of like a double
Gigs
birthday.
today. The bachelor birthday's tomorrow.
And you got to play.
Yeah, and I get to
How
play.
about that?
And Jamie said it's going to be cold. It's going to be 60 degrees. And I said I have
Thanks, man.
my thermometer like set at 62. So
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
of course.
yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, long story short is Matt Blake's an old friend of mine and one of my favorite songwriters. So maybe you can sing us one of your tunes there, Matt.
Long story short, she's gone.
Yeah.
That's the whole song.
I have the next 10 minutes off. Enjoy, guys.
Don't start out. I've been spinning round to the sound of my own wheels, only going by how something feels, riding high, rolling flat, more free air, more rolling after that. There's only one thing I want to do. Roll around with you. I found this ribbon in the long highway, unraveling a world thrown away, slipping on muddy shoes, wrestling the wheel, fighting off the blues. There's only one thing I wanna do. Roll around, roll around with you. People talk about living fast, then they go and say the first will be last. Where I really am, who knows? The night rolls up with my windows. Sometimes I circle the old square, too bad out of shape to go anywhere. The summers I'll never forget, the light in August, shiny as sweat. There's only one thing I wanna do. Roll around, roll around with you. There's only one thing I wanna do. Thank you very much. Thanks. My name's
Beautiful.
Matt Blake, and we're up here with Jamie Thomas and Kip Kelly. And we're going to play
I'll take some more.
songs for you. We're trying to keep you warm a little bit. Although they say this is cold, but like I said, it was about 0 degrees when I left, so 60 degrees warmer than.
60 degrees, that is.
My thermostat says at 62, so this
all
is
relative.
This is about what I live.
Now this is crazy for Florida. I mean, this is you just gotta dress appropriately, right? We're just not used to it. I'm from Chicago, so I'm used to some cold weather. I lived in DC for a while, and I dated a girl from Florida. And every time we went out, I had a reminder to grab a coat. Floridians they don't think to bundle up. You just walk out. I see no one's in flip flops, so that's good.
Progress in these.
Yeah. Hi, Stacy.
Our people.
What? No, it's good. I had I have an older sister, Denise. She was supposed to be here today. She didn't make it, but we were latchkey kids before that was even a term. I don't even think they use it anymore, but there for a little while. They talked about kids that kind of your parents were gone when they came home from school. And that was us. And I remember we used to just have to kind of fend for ourselves with food. And there was a few things that we could make, and this was one of them. Well, I had a sister and a working mom's loving. Come home from school and let ourselves in with a note on the table saying food's in the oven. And dinner was covered in foil made from tin. Well, my hair was thicker, my belly much thinner. Times they were tough for us back in those days. And we might have starved without cold TV dinners and French onion soup mix and a big bag of J's. Cold TV dinners, cold TV dinners, meatloaf and green beans or Salisbury steak. Cold TV dinners, I love cold TV dinners, the only food in the icebox we both could make. Well, we'd race through the kitchen just to get to the freezer. And she liked Stofers, but Swanson's were best. They had a warm cherry cobbler that was a real tongue pleaser, but their Mexican entree was hard to digest. Well, this was back in the days before the microwave oven, so we lit the stove to 400 degrees. For 45 minutes while it cooked we'd be hovering, then watch Bozo Circus on our old TV. Cold TV dinners, cold TV dinners, meatloaf and green beans or Salisbury steak. Cold TV dinners, I love cold TV dinners, the only food in the icebox we both could make. Now when I die, and if I'm a winner, and I live forever up there in the sky, it won't be heaven without cold TV dinners and my sister watching TV right there by my side. Cold TV dinners, cold TV dinners, meatloaf and green beans or Salisbury steak. cold TV dinners, the only food in the icebox we both could make. The only food in the icebox we both could make. The only food in the icebox we both could make.
All right.
Well, thank you. It would be especially cold today.
Instead of put them in the oven, turn the microwave back to those.
That's right.
That's true.
Yeah, and that I mentioned French onion soup mix in a
Yeah, sour cream.
a bag of J's, and that's not a reference to marijuana at all. There's I don't know if they have it anymore. Chicagoland had J's potato chips, was a very popular brand. And my sister used to make this disgusting concoction of sour cream and onion dip, and then she would eat it with J's potato chips or sometimes Ruffles.
Oh, wow.
Right on. Great song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
I started getting the harmony at the end there. The last line, I was like, I got it. So there's, yeah, there is one there. This is a song about when I hurt my back and I couldn't move. But anyway, here we go. There's no way that I can turn, 'cause on the floor's a hard way to learn. Every scar is one you earn. Anything to kill the pain, the thoughts of you that still remain, would drive any man insane. With no record on the turntable, I'd get up if I was able, but I've been stranded and disabled without you to cradle, without you to cradle. It's a memory bank that never dies, reoccurring last goodbyes of past lives and alibis. The sold out bins of faded stars, they fold into the dimly bars as you slide another car. With no record on the turntable, I'd get up if I was able, but I've been stranded and disabled without you to cradle, without you to cradle. Oh, I crossed the bridge, but I burned it down. There's one more round before I hit the ground. Empty rooms just echo now. Rattle walls, they scream out loud. Cause I made amends in my own mind for the blues you left behind. There was nothing else to find. With no record on the turntable, I'd get up if I was able. Well, I've been stranded and disabled without you to cradle. With no record on the turntable, I'd get up if I was able, but I've been stranded and disabled without you to cradle, without you to cradle, without you to cradle. Cheers, y'all. It's kind of a lament for not being able to reach the record player or my guitar. When you live alone and your back goes out, you can't move.
Yeah, I was thinking about my shoulder as it's killing me as you're talking about disabled.
So, sounds like a love song. Not really. I love mobility. Anyway. Appreciate it. And by the way, thanks, Kip, for having us out here today. We do always have a great pleasure playing here, so I know Matt feels the same way. So cheers to you.
Thank you, Kip.
Thanks for coming.
Out of the way. Get that out of the way.
Yeah. Tune this little guitar here. This cold is.
The whiskey's working, though. It's keeping me warm.
All right. It's great to be here at Crooked Thumb Brewery.
It's gonna get colder. A little short.
All right, I'm gonna play a song I wrote a little while ago. I was lucky enough to have Lucinda Williams sing with me on the CD, which I do have a couple of CDs here for sale, but she's on it. She's the big guest artist. But it's called Whichever Way the Wind Blows. I'll go whichever way the wind blows. That's me, pressed against your door, a tumbleweed melting with the snow, where a river flows, whichever way the wind blows. I'm sure I was born a drifter. This land borders on the lines of my hand, crossing where I go, fingers in my toes, whichever way the wind blows. Well, I can still stand my ground. It's just that my ground is the dirt in every town. All the dirt in town. The back streets where me and the wind meet. Alleys cut the winter gales to a breeze blowing through the clothes of all the rambling souls, whichever way the wind blows. Blowing through my clothes. All right, thanks, folks.
I know which way the wind is blowing now.
Yeah, it's blowing in.
Hey,
It's blowing from the north.
I know.
Yeah.
You got this seats in the sun.
It's blowing straight from the north.
Beautiful.
Right on.
Time for the harmonica.
All right.
I don't really have much to say about this one, except when I first started writing songs, a lady told me, she yelled and said, I liked you, but your songs are too slow.
Where have I heard that before?
Right? Jamie and I, we've actually talked a bunch about the feedback we've gotten from fans, audience members that are constructive and positive, but are really not so much. Like I heard a lady one time, she told me, you're never going to be on The Voice, but I can listen to you all day.
Nice, nice.
And I told Jamie that, he said, oh, 2 compliments then.
That's good.
Yeah. So this was the first song that I picked up the tempo on. But I was down on my luck, down to my last buck, staring at the Vegas street lights, when I stopped at a table where a card girl named Mabel had been dealing blackjack all night. And I was down to the felt from the cards that she dealt. I tapped out and I stood up to leave, when she gave me an ace with a smile on her face and told me she had more up her sleeve. She was the queen of my morning, I was the king of her night. But I shouldn't have doubled down with a card girl who'd been around. She split on me when it was right. Now she took off from Boulder cause her daddy wouldn't hold her, but before she left he taught her to play cards, and the skills that she learned helped her to earn, but guaranteed her life would be hard. And so she drove out to Vegas, and that took 2 Winnebagos, as one broke down outside Cheyenne. But she found her another off a friend of her brother, she beat with Big Slick in her hand. She was the queen of my morning, and I was the king of her night. But I shouldn't have doubled down with a card girl who'd been around. She split on me when it was right. She said she needed some muscle to pull off a hustle, so she grabbed me and we walked out the door. We played poker, Keno at the Locos Casino, till the pit boss couldn't take any more. And we went back to my room to count up the loot after a stop at the all-night buffet. And we fell down together, it felt like forever, but bad luck was a-coming my way. And she was the queen of my morning, and I was the king of her night. But I shouldn't have doubled down with a card girl who's been around. She split on me when it was right. Well, now friends and neighbors, I hope I don't belabor the point of singing this here song. When I woke from my sleep with a smile that ran deep, she and the money were gone. She was the queen of my morning, and I was the king of her night. But I shouldn't have doubled down with a card girl who'd been around. She split on me when it was right. And she was the queen of my morning, I was the king of her night. But I shouldn't have doubled down with the card girl who'd been around. She split on me when it was right. She split on me when it was right. She split on me when it was right. Oh, thank you. Love that one. Right on.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming out. Everyone I know is here. And a couple I don't know, actually, for that matter. That new friends, too. Anyway, I always forget to preface this song because it's called Just Go Away, but I'm not talking about you all here. So, you know, played it one time and everybody got up and left, Kip. All alone. It's darkest in December, the winds they whine and moan. There's winter in the windows, there's frost in every day. The cold's bitter like the whiskey that warms you from the same. Just go just go away. when you cross the fires to burn anew. Just go away, leave things as they seem. Just go away, so I can wipe the slate clean. Just go away, don't appear in some dream. Just go away, oh, go away. To another time, another place, without you to forget. To another life I could face, without you to regret. Cause the wall is just a wall, you can build it or tear it down. The strongest sometimes fall, left laying on the ground. Just go away, leave things as they seem. Just go away, so I can wipe the slate clean. Just go away, don't appear in some dream. Just go away, go away. Thank you all very much. It's one of the few songs that someone helped me finish, which was actually my dad. I was at the kitchen table.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I got this new song I'm working on, and I started playing it for him, and he started telling me all the things that were wrong with it. He's like, with that one line, why don't you change it to this? And I was like, you know what, that's the best line of the whole song. So now we're really not going to get along for a while. So anyway, I meant to dedicate that to him because I usually do. So he's thankfully still hanging around there in Astoria, Queens. You know, so we'll do that one for him. So anyway, that was called Just Go Away. My name's Jamie Thomas, by the way. Thank you all for coming out. This is my buddies Matt Blake and Kip Kelly, just trading our songs, maybe a few songs that some of the folks wrote that I think inspired us to do this as well. But anyway, without further ado, Mr. Matt Blake. Cheers, y'all.
All right. Thanks, Jamie. So I'm going to play a song that I wrote inspired by somebody that I used to work at the Ryman Auditorium. I don't know if you guys know the Ryman Auditorium, Nashville, Tennessee. It used to be home of the Grand Ole Opry for like decades, and then it kind of closed down, but it came back. But anyway, it was a great place to work. I worked with Ray Charles, Merle Haggard, and Chris Christopherson, just amazing people. But one night, I happened to meet this guy, and I came home and like wrote a song about it. And anyway, I'll play the song. And I'll let it speak for itself. Have you ever seen Keith Richards up close? Worn and torn more than most. A dusty thistle on the side of a road. A magical, mystical, wild-eyed toad. His bandana hangs like a country at war. A broken heart that's been busted more. Da Vinci with a Pall Mall, a disaster master. A hobo George Washington with a Telecaster. Teachers and preachers, and churches and homes, all secretly want to sound like the Stones and be seen riding with Keith Richards' bones. Keith Richards' bones. People gather under a moon, deep in the woods, with big stereos, bonfires and black hoods. Brown sugar echoes and sweetens the voodoo. How come you taste so good, Bubbles? The Rolling Stones stew. And the stars hang high and the sky descend. Somewhere there's a pillow beneath Keith Richards' head. He dreams of a time before ferns were cold and burned the beginnings of rock and roll. Teachers and preachers, churches and homes, all secretly want to sound like the Stones. And be seen riding with Keith Richards' bones. Keith Richards' bones. Well, I used to play Shattered in high school. I thought Keith's playing was so damn cool. And today I still do. Oh, recently I shook Keith Richards' hand. A soft orange light in a man. Tongue-tied, I couldn't quite think of what to say except wild horses love the way they eat, play. And teachers and preachers and churches and homes all secretly want to sound like the Stones. And be seen riding with Keith Richards' bones. Keith Richards. Keith Richards' bones. All right, thanks, folks.
Cheers.
That's actually a true story. I met him backstage one time. He was about to go on stage, and like I was a stagehand, so I was in charge of cables and paging like curtains and stuff. And I just turned to him and said, "Hey Keith, it's great to have you here at the Ryman." And he goes, "Hey mate, it's great to be here." And he had this hand, it's like this giant claw. You know, it's like a big, beat up, kind of swollen knuckles. And I shook his hand, and it was the softest handshake I've ever had in my life. I swear. It was kind of like a satin pillow. If you can imagine grabbing a satin pillow as a hand, I'm like, oh my God. And so first thing I did when I got home, just wrote that song real quick.
Yeah,
Story, that's
one of my favorites.
Trying to think who's the softest hand I've ever shaken.
Well, I think if you're like Keith, you've never had a boy, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's never lifted anything except for
a couple
a
years
guitar
he did,
case.
but
Yeah.
for a while now, it's like,
There was. I did. That's funny though. I do remember when you said that. I remember thinking of a particular handshake where it was so soft it was kind of off. You know, not real good. It was an older guy too. He had really big hands. I remember it was really. I was like, oh yeah, that's fun. I had a tough gig last night. I played at the Craftsman House Gallery. I got to open for Claudia Schmidt, who's been out, you know, hitting the streets as a folk singer for 50 years, and she was great. And I felt like I did not do my job well. I don't know why. I'm blaming it on, yesterday I had to do a bunch of field cleanup at the softball field at Sickles High School. And I think I was just, I breathed in too much dust. So I was just kind of hoarse and dry. And then my daughter called me right before the show, which I should not have answered it, but I got to do that. And she was crying because she lost her softball glove. And she's 18 years old. She's had it since 2017. So I think she was like 11, maybe 12. And she's a terrific fielder. And she always credits that glove as the reason that she's such a good fielder. And so I know that it's not just the money, it's, you know, that it's the replacing it will be difficult mentally. But then I started thinking about, like, so much of our relationship has been around softball. She's played travel ball since she was 11, and we spent so many weekends together going to softball events. And that's, you know, early morning before the sunrise kind of car rides. And I just felt, and she's going away to college in the fall, so I'm already kind of losing her, and now she lost her glove, and so I showed up to do I had a set list that I was going to do, and that threw me off, so then I did a song that I wrote for her, and I was out of sorts. So, sorry, Claudia. This is the song I played instead. My kids were real little. I used to sing to them at bedtime. And for a little while, Claire, it's my daughter, we were singing, trying to write a song together. And we had like a line of the song and then absolutely nothing. And so we stopped trying to write it for a while. And I thought, well, this is what I'll do. Like every 10 years, I'll write a verse to the song. And by the time she's 30, and maybe it's like a big day or her wedding or something, I'll finish the song and I will spring it on the unsuspecting wedding crowd. And I will steal the show from the bride on her big day. Everyone will say how great Dad is. And I still kind of want to do that, but I love her too much and I'm way too impatient. So I went ahead and finished it. This is for Claire. Came to us just before Sunday morning, sooner than we expected you to be. And when I looked below to count your fingers and toes, I wondered what you'd expect from me. 'Cause before you, no one ever called me daddy, and no one ever stole my heart away. But then you came along and helped me write my song. It's been you and me since that day. We'll go outside and dance each time it's raining. I'll teach you how to catch and throw a ball. And when those boys get you down or knock you to the ground, I'll be the softest place for you to fall. 'Cause before you, no one ever called me daddy, and no one ever stole my heart away. But then you came along and helped me write my song. It's been you and me since that day. Time will come for you to leave, dear, but don't you be upset or shed a tear. Remember all the good, I did the best I could, and know that when you need me, I'll be here. 'Cause before you, no one ever called me daddy, and no one ever stole my heart away. But then you came along and helped me write this song. It's been you and me since that day. It's been you and me
every day.
All right.
Oh, thank you. That's for Claire.
That's a great song. I love that.
That was awesome. Well, what I was thinking was something that makes me move around a little bit, like warm up. But all three of us have spent some time in Austin, Texas. I know Matt used to live there for quite a while, and as did I. And Kit makes his way over there a couple times a year, I think at least. And I think a lot of the music we're playing is kind of coming from that world. And I used to hang out at a place there on South Lamar called the Horseshoe Lounge. And it was a local place, and they didn't even have music, which is where you went after your gigs to have a beer. And behind the Horseshoe, they used to have a couple of chairs, and someone would bring their guitar, and we'd do exactly like this, you know, trade the guitar around and sing songs, and our songs, Merle Haggard songs, whatever. And then it got bought up and closed down, you know, which unfortunately happens. But so I wrote the song. It's called "Can't Forget About You," and it kind of sounds like it might be about a person, but it's really about a place. Because I think if anyone knows me, they know I probably like bars a lot more than I like people. But anyway, so we'll do this one for the Horseshoe. My pals that used to hang out there. What would I do to sing you a song behind the Horseshoe? But those days have come and gone. I can't forget about you. What would I do to climb through your window to have a drink or two? But those days have come and gone. I can't forget about you. What would I do to see your shadow cast against my back door? Just the way you used to sway before you hit the floor. What would I do to scale your walls? I really love that view. But those days have come and gone, and I can't forget about you. Woo! What would I do to see your shadow cast against my back door? Just the way you used to sway before you hit the floor. What would I do to look in your eyes so royal, deep and blue? But those days have come and gone, and I can't forget about you. But those days have come and gone, and I can't forget about you. And I can't forget about you. And I can't forget about you. Nice. Cheers, y'all. I appreciate that. Can't forget about you.
All right. Thank you, Jane. All right. It's warming up a little bit. I can feel it out there.
Yeah, it is.
The sun's coming out. I think the snow's been kind of, it's not going to come tonight at least. But it's cool we get to hear all these stories about the songs, you know, because I always forget, like, why did I write that song? Oh yeah, that's right. Well, this next song, it was kind of weird. I had a dream, like I was living up in the monastery in Wisconsin, and it was like totally empty. It was kind of an artist in residence thing, but I bought this church, and it was an old monastery. It was kind of creepy. It was strange, but I had this dream that this woman in a floppy hat whispered this song to me. Like she was like, "I'm gonna get my hammer and my tambourine." And I was like, what? And in the dream I was listening. I was like, this is a song. And the whole song, she said to me, I woke up, I grabbed my guitar and kind of wrote it down. You know, I learned it the next morning. I was like, that's kind of a cool song. But I don't feel like it's my song. It's kind of her song. But I guess I'm playing it like for the dream, like person, whatever, the ghost, whatever. Yeah. So she can't play it, so I'm gonna play it for her. I'm gonna get my my tambourine. Gonna build me a stage and paint it green. My hammer and tambourine. Gonna get my boots and blue suit and my guitar on. Gonna sing, yeah, song after song. My hammer and tambourine. Gonna fly, let's get super high. Gonna sing, swinging my hammer and shaking my tambourine. Summer swaying, singing, playing, waving like the sea. Come on down, spin around, sing along with me. My hammer and tambourine. Gonna fly, let's get super high. Gonna sing, swinging my hammer and shaking my tambourine. I'm gonna get my hammer and my tambourine. Gonna build me a stage and paint it green. My hammer and tambourine. Gonna build me a stage and paint it green. My hammer and tambourine. My hammer and tambourine. Thank you. I hope I did the song justice. I don't know.
What's that called, actually? Is it,
Hammer and tambourine.
I've heard you do that one, but I actually never knew what the title was. Just double checking. It's actually for once, I was actually.
Yeah, I was wondering.
I want to look that one up.
It's kind of one of those jokes. I wonder what that name is.
You know, I don't know if it got warmer, but I think what I got is like a ray of sunshine shining right on my ass right now. And it all of a sudden felt warmer. So I'm keeping my hands back there so they don't freeze.
Yeah, I can't say you're that spot on purpose, but it's working out
Yeah,
for you.
no, I know he's got a little bit over there too, Jamie. You got the bad
Yeah,
spot.
that's all right. I got the long johns on now.
So Jamie's birthday is tomorrow.
It's quite the momentous occasion, I know.
And, you know, I hate to do this, but not to steal his thunder, but it would have also been my mother's 76th birthday. So when Jamie asked me to do this, I was thinking of her for sure. So I can't play today without honoring her in some way, mentioning her. When I first started writing songs, actually the very first song I ever wrote was called Mother's Day, which I haven't played in so long that I wouldn't even try to play it today. But then the second song I ever wrote was also about my mom, and it's this next one. It was just my mom, my sister, and me growing up, and we didn't have very much. And I remember one time we came home from school and we had bedroom furniture, which we never had that before. I remember I had a headboard, and I got this bookshelf, and I remember my sister got the desk, which kind of pissed me off because I thought that was the coolest piece. But she's older, so you know, she got to sit in the front seat, and I had to sit in the back, and she got the good piece of furniture, and I got what was left over. But that's okay. What I did get was a dresser that my mom told me was called a Highboy, which I'd never heard of before. But that's basically this Highboy had a cabinet up top, and it had 3 dresser drawers below it. And I mostly remember it because I used to steal baseball cards when I was little, and I would hide them in there. Well, my mom used to come down to Florida from Indiana, where we're from, and she had this little Chevy pickup truck. And one of these trips, she used to pack it with a bunch of stuff that I didn't want. And on one of these trips, she packed it with this dresser that I had. And And she and I took it off the back of the truck, and we put it in the middle of my garage, and it sat there for about 3 years. And one day it was time to clean the garage. So you know how tidy I am, that it went 3 years without cleaning it. But it was time, and I didn't want to do that because that meant I had to move the dresser that she and I took off the truck together those years ago. And she, of course, had passed during that time. But it was time, and so I went ahead and I moved it off to the side, and I stood there in my garage, and I thought for a while about all that it stood for, and all that my mom had to sacrifice to fill it when I was little. And I come up with this song. This is for Kel. It's called The Dresser.
Love you guys.
Guys. In my garage, there's a sturdy old dresser Mom bought when I was a kid. Used to protect all of the things that she bought me and hide all the things that I hid. The top drawer, it had no jewelry. Its value was greater than gold, filled with the love that she gave me and the lessons from the stories she told. The next drawer had the clothes that she bought me with all of the money she lacked. The last drawer could never be empty, 'cause that had the shirt off her back. I'd ride my bike to the old Ben Franklin, the local 5 and dime. Baseball cards sold at 8 packs a dollar. Sometimes I would take 9. And I'd hide those cards in that sturdy old dresser and hope that nobody heard. But she'd find them and put them right where I could see them without ever saying a word. The top drawer, it had no jewelry. Its value was greater than gold, filled with the love that she gave me and the lessons from the stories she told. The next drawer had the clothes that she bought me with all of the money she lacked. The last drawer could never be empty, 'cause that had the shirt off her back. Now when I look at that sturdy old dresser, I think of those days and those nights, and how it was used to teach me the difference between what is wrong and what's right. And though she is gone and she can't tell her stories, no longer walking this earth, I still feel her love, and she's still giving lessons without ever saying a word. The top drawer, it had no jewelry. Its value was greater than gold, filled with the love that she gave me and the lessons from the stories she told. The next drawer had the clothes that she bought me with all of the money she lacked. The last drawer could never be empty, 'cause that had the shirt off her back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Great song. That was for Kel. She was cool. She rode a Harley, and she grew weed in our backyard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't know how it went down in your small town when your moms grew weed in the backyard, but In Highland, Indiana, where I'm from, the plainclothes police officers come and they pick the garden clean. And they say, don't do that anymore. At least that's how an 8-year-old remembers it.
Cool, great song, man. I'm trying to think of, I had one here. Anyway, what can I say about this? I don't know, it's pretty self-explanatory, but sometimes it doesn't work out, but that's okay too. Oh, it should have been us stepping out in style. Yeah, it should have been us till our last mile. Yeah, it should have been us waltzing to and fro. Loretta Lynn on the radio. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, it should have been us all through the night. Moonlit shadows in the new moonlight. Oh, it should have been us in your broken bed, with my shoulder beneath your head. Dreams we should have known, instead of dreaming, baby, on our own. Love we should have shown, instead of loving, baby, on our own. Instead of loving, baby, all alone. Yeah, it should have been us in the summertime, strolling the boardwalk out on Coney Island. Oh, it should have been us in our happy home, instead of living, baby, on our own. Instead of loving, baby, all alone. Instead of dreaming, baby, on our own. Nice. Thank you all very much. Should have been us. Thank you. Cheers.
All right, that song reminds me of a breakup song here. I'll play for you. Like I wrote the song at Nashville. I was dating a songwriter, and we broke up. And I wanted to tell everybody she was still like solid gold, but just because we're not together. But I didn't want to say it in words, so I wrote a song about it. I played it a lot there. Being together so close for so long, the ending's bound to look really wrong. I don't want anyone to say anything that could be damaging, 'cause she used to be mine. Stories can travel in a town this size, and when stories get twisted, they can really sting the eyes. So I don't want anyone to say anything that could be damaging, 'cause she used to be mine. Well, I've heard love and war, everything is fair. But how could I be at war with the world's softest hair? Now this broken heart is almost more than I can take. But to talk trash would be like saying our love was fake. So I don't want anyone to say anything that could be damaging, 'cause she used to be mine. Yeah, she used to be mine. All right, thank you very much.
Hits, that's mega hit. I know that one. My lonesome boy.
That
We're gonna have to switch, right?
Oh yeah.
So we just gotta be going. All right, let's go.
it was your blanket. Yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't even brought it over there. I think I did.
I'll be good. I'll break it down.
So let's see. I've covered a number of family members so far. Thanks everybody for braving the cold today.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you,
that.
everybody.
A second now.
I think most of you know that this is my place. Crooked Thumb Brewery is I don't want to say it's my brainchild, but it's I certainly I take some credit for it. But when we were planning the brewery, we fell into some financial difficulties, and it almost didn't happen. And so I went home to Indiana, where I'm from, and somebody very close to me came through financially and got us over the hump. And so as payment, I wrote him a song. I mean, I think I have to actually pay him back too, but the song is part of the payment. I guess the Bucks scored. Yeah, right.
That sounds like my life in a nutshell.
I think they recognized the song I'm playing, and then they were disappointed.
Still my actor.
Well, he wears white socks with white tennis shoes. Picked up his life the day he put down his boots. He'll stand by you until the end. As the years go by, I'm proud to call him my friend. He's my old man. He did the best he can. He never said too much. He spoke with his two hands. He worked an honest job for honest pay. And part of me will die the day that he goes away. He's my old man. had bad knees, just like I do. The doctor told him to replace them one at a time, and he said, hell, let's do two. He doesn't waste his time. He likes to get shit done. And when it rains, I'm reminded that I'm his only son. And he is my old man. He did the best he can. He never said too much. He spoke with his two hands. He worked an honest job for honest pay. And part of me will die the day that he goes away. He's my old man. You know, one of the earliest memories I have of my old man is he had a 1971 Chevy Impala. I remember it was blue, and it had an AM radio, a bench seat in the front, and absolutely no air conditioning. We would drive, my sister, myself, and my dad would drive down Indianapolis Boulevard in Whiting, Indiana, listening to country music on the AM radio. And I remember my sister and I used to stand on the front seat while we drove down the boulevard. And I remember we were so small that even though we were standing, our heads wouldn't hit the roof of the car. And I remember the seat was filthy dirty, probably from my sister and my bare feet. But we listened to WMAQ and WJJD, Tom T. Hall, Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard. And I remember one of the radio stations, WMAQ, had a giveaway where if they called you and you said, WMAQ is going to make me rich, they'd give you $99. And I remember thinking, what do we need $99 for? That was my old man. He did the best he can. He never said too much. He spoke with his two hands. He worked an honest job for honest pay. And part of me will die the day that he goes away. That's my old man. Oh, thank you.
Another great one, Kip. So I guess we're going to do one more and take a short break here and come back and play some more for you. So can't thank you all enough for coming out. Just going to grab a quick drink and come right back and play some more for you. These are, I think we just only played our own songs so far, right? So we'll probably do some cover songs in the second set that you might know just for fun. Or not, I'm not sure. But you mentioned that I heard a word that reminded me of a song. So a little while back I got a text from somebody and said, you know, Jamie, you're just another disappointing human. So I want to thank that person. If they hadn't sent me that text, I never would have written this song. Here it is.
Well, I'm just a disappointing human, the kind that always lets you down. Well, I'm just a disappointing human, another one that you found. Just when you least expect it, that's when something changes. First you felt protected, like a stranger, but I'm just a disappointing human, the kind that always lets you down.
let you down. A disappointing human, another one that you found. I'm just a disappointing human, the kind that always let you down. A disappointing human, another one that you found. Thank y'all very much. We'll take a short break and come back and play some more for you. So thanks, Kip. Thanks, Matt. And we'll see you in just a couple minutes. Thank y'all for coming out. Do appreciate it. See you soon.
Thanks, folks.